Okay, Sistas and Zatima fans, I've talked about this a few times in various live streams, videos, and posts, but there are some people talking about the leaked promo that Sistas dropped accidentally last week about next week's episode. Basically, it's the trailer we should see tonight after episode 13 airs. It's the trailer for episode 14. Where Zac is talking to Fatima, is like, I love you enough to know you deserve better than this. And, it just goes back to the whole situation of, did Zac, put all of his chips in one basket too quickly? Was he wrong for hooking up? Well, not hooking up, but getting with Fatima, moving in together, getting engaged, all at the high speed they were. I've said yes from the beginning. I mean, these two are great together. They aren't perfect, but I do feel like it's felt like Zac just, Karen kicked him out of her, car. Fatima drove by in a limo and he hopped in and he pretty much, strapped himself in and didn't want to be, put out once again by somebody else. It's just like one of those situations where it's his lack of a powerful female figure in his life because of the fact that what was it, his mother left and he was raised by his grandmother, I believe, or his aunt, always talking down to him and whatnot, hence why him and Karen kind of clicked, because she kind of treated him not unlike any other woman in his life in the past. Then you have Fatima, who's like filling him up with positivity, and as a result it's a newfound confidence in himself that he didn't even know he had. But regardless, I think that things went so badly with Karen that Zac figured, he found a good thing with Fatima, so why not lock it down? And I think it's the fact that he felt like a kid with a new toy, He was a kid who really wanted to show off, you know how it is, like, when you're back in school and whatnot, like, let's say you got your mom bought you a new outfit, like a new jersey or some new shoes and whatnot. You kind of want to show off to people, especially if you have a crush, you want to like show off, hey, check out, my new kicks or whatever. And that's kind of how Zac feels now. It's almost like, and I'm not questioning his feelings for Fatima. It's almost like, and I think he's even said this before, I've never been in a position where I can take care of a woman. I'm always used to a woman taking care of me because I was unable to provide. Now I'm in a position of being a provider. But on the flip side, you have Fatima, who has been heartbroken, and she's hardcore. So she really isn't, one to want a man to kind of scoop her up, and put her in a different position, like basically surrender her independence in order to be with someone else, because of the fact, move out of your apartment and move into my house. And she was hesitant, but it was a realistic, I can see why she wouldn't want to uproot herself to be with someone she hasn't really been with for that long. You can almost call it a whirlwind romance, especially how they met. Usually it's the guy that sweeps the woman off her feet, but in this case it was Fatima that knocked Zac off his bike. So I do feel like when it comes to the Zatima romance, things escalated quickly. But what's kind of funny? That's the ironic part of Tyler Perry fans and his writing in general. He's dragging the series. This is moving too slow. I wish we would stop focusing on the same thing for like 5 seasons. I wish we could move on and talk about something else. But then with the Zatima stuff, man, this is moving too fast. This is just way too quick. Zac is doing too much. He proposed. They're moved in together. But when you think about it this way, imagine how slowly the Zatima romance would be if it was moving at the same pace as all the other storylines and Sisters. I doubt we would even have a spinoff at this point. But I do agree that the engagement kind of really came fast. I said that when the episodes of Zatima aired, it just came way too fast. At the end of episode 8 and then in episode 9. But I think the biggest reason for fans saying that, it's way too much, way too soon, is the fact that Zac didn't really clean house. He didn't really fix the potholes he left behind in his bumpy road of relationships and, one night stands prior to him getting with Fatima. It's just like now all of his skeletons are falling out of the closet at once. Baby mama here, baby mama there, scorn lover here, someone who wants him to give, them some more. It's just that now Fatima's being hit with so much. It's a wonder why she's even still with Zac at this point. And you really can't blame fans for speculating that. It's just that, yeah, in real life, it's not uncommon for, some women to stay with guys who have multiple baby mamas, vice versa. Some men who settle down with a woman who has like 4 baby daddies. More power to them. I know I ain't going to be one of them. But it just feels like one of those things where Zac's inability to provide is on. You could somewhat argue that he's overcompensating with Fatima because of what he was unable to do with Karen and whoever else he dealt with in the past, other females he dealt with in the past. I think that now that he has money and can provide, he kind of feels like money can solve everything. And while it can solve a lot of problems, it doesn't solve all the problems. Not to mention, like what Fatima said, if we get married, then your debt becomes my debt and vice versa. And if we get into this baby mama drama stuff, that could lead to child support issues. And I don't want to have that, because Zac is flying high now. But how many times has he had to dodge bullets from the SEC, and Hayden's constantly trying to get his money taken away through one, route or another, even though technically that's Fatima's issue that she needs to squash. I mean, it's kind of funny how she always talks about how Zac needs to put Karen in line and shut her down, but she's had plenty of opportunities to shut Hayden down, but is showing him grace. So I'll leave it at that. But I will say this much: Zac moving that fast with Fatima, I don't blame him, because when you think of it this way, you can have so many relationships in the past that have gone wrong. At the first sign that a new relationship with someone else is going right, you want to lock it down, as Madea would say, clank, clank, as soon as possible. Even if it's unrealistic. How many of you have, even if it's not like a recent encounter, but how many of you in the past have come across someone where it's almost like a love or infatuation at first sight, where it's like you just go gaga at the very sight of this person, and it's like you're ready. It's like, marry me and have my children right now. It's just one of those things where when you feel it's the right person, you feel it, and logic has no hold of that situation. It's purely emotion. You recognize that, damn, in a few days of knowing this person, it's been a lot better, and things been going better with this person than it has with the last person I've interacted with for like 2 years, and nothing ever went right. So yeah, it's like Zac was literally at rock bottom, and Fatima picked him up. And I've always said, you know what? Maybe it wouldn't be such a bad thing if Zac and Fatima didn't end up together in terms of, forever lovers. Like, they both found each other in a place where they really needed someone else, whether or not they wanted to admit it or not. Zac in terms of somebody to believe in him and to help him believe in himself. And Fatima to be able to learn to love again after what Ian put her through. So maybe they shouldn't have fallen for each other the way they did. They should have learned from each other. Kind of like, the iconic Madea clip from Madea Goes to Jail to Play about, people in your life are like parts of a tree. Some people are leaves and branches, and other people are the roots who, they're meant to stay not for a season, but to hold you down for the long run. So what do you think? Do you think that Zac and Fatima moved too fast? In my opinion, yes, they did. But at the same time, how many whirlwind romances have we heard stories of? It's like, we met such and such a time. A few weeks later, we got engaged. And then next thing you know, we got married in less than a year. And then they're still together. I mean, sure, sometimes you can look at those situations and be like, damn, that's way too fast. But sometimes it's like, what do they say? Sometimes you just know. And as someone who's been single as hell for I don't know how long at this point, I can't judge. It's just one of those things where how can I tell another person that, look, you don't know what you're talking about? Because I don't know what's in their heart of hearts. I don't know what they're feeling. Sure, I mean, sometimes it's easy to tell who's an opportunist, who's a gold digger, versus someone who's actually in love with someone. And when it comes to Zac and Fatima, you could argue she's been fighting more than Zac to hold their relationship together. But that's not to say Zac hasn't tried to walk away when things got rough, once or twice himself. Mainly Zac's reasoning for walking away has been when he feels like Fatima has played him, usually due to Hayden's antics. But other than that, he's been one to fight, because she's the one who has the walls up. She's the one who is afraid, due to what happened to her in the past. Mainly because she's afraid of loving him, falling deeper and deeper in love with him. Whereas Zac has his heart out on the sleeve. So, yeah, do you think these two move too fast? Or are you like, Jeremy, I don't give a fuck. I love Zac and Fatima together. So they could be at the altar with kids right now for all I care. I just want them happy. So what do you think? Do they move too fast? Do you think they should slow down? Do you think this baby mama drama is going to be the thing that kind of breaks them apart? Let's talk about it. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and I'll catch you in the next one.